since 1999. In 1999, I was 20. Oh my goodness. It makes me feel really old to think of how old I was when I don't even want to say how old I was now, because man, I'm losing all my hair. I'm 44 years old right now. So I was 23, 22 years old when I started with For Life. I started at the corporate home office. I knew nothing about network marketing. I did not know anything about transfer factor. The only experience I had with network marketing previous to For Life was a bad one. I had a bad experience with MLM. And I remember I was like, ugh, I want nothing to do with that industry. That's a 3-letter bad word, MLM. And then my next door neighbor, and I say this with 100% sincerity, probably one of the best men I have ever met, David Lisenby, the CEO and founder of For Life. My next door neighbor said, hey, Kevin, he took interest in me. See, David Lisenby is together building people in his personal life, in his community, in his church, in his family, with his friends, and with this business. And he took personal interest in me. I grew up without a father. My father passed away when I was 5 years old. David Lisenby saw me as a 22-year-old that really didn't have a lot of direction, didn't have a lot of discipline, but he saw potential. And he just said, hey, Kevin, I'm starting a company. You should come and work for me. Now, I had a pretty awesome offer to be a gas station attendant that was paying minimum wage. And I saw a big career there. And so I couldn't say yes quick enough to the fact that David Lisenby, who I knew had the Midas touch, that David Lisenby was going to start a company. I knew it was going to be done with vision, it was going to be done with ethics, and it was going to be done with integrity. And so I said, hey, sign me up. Now, the way it works at the corporate world, right? You have the chief officers, and then you have the executive team, the vice presidents, then you have the directors, the managers, the supervisors, then you have your entry-level people, right? Well, just below entry-level people, that's where I came into For Life at. I mean, it was like, I was basically the do everything scrub. Like, hey, Kevin, there's, clean up on aisle 2 in the warehouse, grab a broom, grab a mop, go clean that up. Hey, Kevin, we're doing inbound sales and they're getting backed up in there with phone calls. Go answer a phone. I'm like, answer a phone? Yeah, it's not that hard. For Life, this is Kevin. How can I help you? And so it was, there were 6 or 7 employees when I got started. And there was, that's how David Lisenby is. You have to work your way through things, right? He wasn't just because I was his next door neighbor. I wasn't going to come in as some manager, making good money. He wanted to test me. He wanted to see, if I was up to the challenge. And something happened when I got involved with For Life, a conversion. MLM, one bad apple from one bad company had soured the batch that was MLM for me. David Lisenby turned that around very quickly. I started working at the corporate office and I started to see science, success, and service. And I started to be so passionate about what was happening, who we were helping. I feel so fortunate. I have seen literally thousands and thousands of testimonials when it comes to this product line, when it comes to Transfer Factor, you name it. I've seen so many success stories because we have real science, validated, scientifically efficacious products beyond vitamins, minerals, and herbs. And so really what the biggest conversion was, I said, what am I doing on the wrong side of the right industry? I'm working at this corporate office for 6 years. I saw other people chasing their dreams, and Dave Daughtry says it all the time, right? You can either, go into business for yourself and build your own dream, or you can be hired by someone else to build their dreams, right? And even though I loved For Life, working at the home office, I realized I was the latter. I was hired for somebody else, building their dream. And so 2005, I decided to get on the right side of what I knew was the right company and the right products. I became a distributor. In 2005, I signed my own personal application with Dave Daughtry as my sponsor. And within 30 days, I was financially free. No, I wasn't financially free within 30 days. This is not get rich quick. This is not money for nothing. This is not overnight success. The first 30 days, I thought I made a terrible, disastrous decision. The first 30 days, I fell on my face time and time again. I had people tell me I was crazy. I had dream stealers, starting with my wife, then my brother. These are people that were close to me that were like, Kevin, get your head out of the clouds and go and get a quote unquote real job. You had a real job. Go back and get your real job from the company. And so I was struggling and it was difficult. Anything that's worth having is difficult, right? And I want to share with you a quote by Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is the father of invention, right? I mean, we have a lifestyle that can be largely attributed to things that Thomas Edison invented. And he said that most people, not some people, not a few people, most people miss opportunity because it's dressed in overalls and disguised as work. You know, that's the thing, is we think the opportunity is something that's just going to come along and we're just going to ride the wave, or, you know, it's the right time, right place. Hey, listen, timing is important, but the most important thing about any opportunity, if it's to be, it's up to me. It's work. You know, this is network marketing, you know, but the great thing is, at first I traded in my 9-to-5 job for an 8-to-faint schedule, because now there was no boss, there was no alarm clock. Dave Daughtry in 20 years has never called me up and said, hey, Kevin, are you up? No. You know, there's a proverb that I really like from Africa. It says, every day a lion wakes up and it knows that it has to catch up with a gazelle in order to eat and survive. And every day in Africa as well, a gazelle wakes up knowing that it has to outrun a lion in order to survive. And it says the moral of the story is, whether you're a gazelle or you're a lion, when the sun comes up, you better be up and running, right? And that's the thing, is we got to get up and we got to chase the business. But here's the great thing, is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. That's the thing I love about Together Building People. We've got a team, a family that supports one another. And it's like, you know, Barry just jumped on. You know, Barry's a long way away from where I am in Utah. But I know that if I need something, I can reach out to Barry. Barry can reach out to me. We have partnerships and collaborations. And you know, Barry is an independent distributor. I am an independent distributor. We're building our own empires, our own future, our own dreams. But we share in that fact that we look to the left or look to the right, and we're there to support one another. Nobody, you know, this is not a pushy business. But if you want to do well in it, pull. Be pulley, not pushy, right? You want to get to a place where you can pull people up and get to a place where you can help them go to the next level. So I want to talk just a couple things about philosophies, and then I want to talk about social media and how to take these principles and apply them in social media. One thing is competition. Now, I believe that our transfer factor line of products is what I would refer to as a category creator, right? This is beyond vitamins or minerals or herbs. This is exactly the opposite of a Me Too product. Have you guys heard the expression Me Too, right? Where it's like, you know, somebody comes and says, hey, I've got this great antioxidant juice, or I've got this great supplement with these fantastic herbs. And they're like, oh, really? You do? Yeah, me too. My company has one of those too. Me too. You know, I love the fact that we can go and talk about how we have all of these products. And you know, for life, when I got started, we had one product, what we refer to affectionately now as Transfer Factor Classic, right? But look at all of the products we have right now. For Life has all of these patented proprietary products they're proven, they work, and I love competition. And you know, have you ever heard that Coke and Pepsi, so two of the biggest soda companies in the world, right? They actually like to have their vending machines next to each other. That seems a little bit odd, right? But they like to have vending machines right next to each other, because if there's just a Coca-Cola vending machine and I'm walking by, the decision is, do I want a Coca-Cola or not? Okay. If there's a Coca-Cola vending machine right next to a Pepsi vending machine, the choice now becomes, do I want a Coke or do I want a Pepsi? Okay. That's what I think is happening with this pandemic and immune support products. Have you noticed that there's a lot of herbs and vitamins and minerals out there now that are like, hey, we boost immunity. We boost immunity, right? Hey, that's great for us. That's like having the immune system company, the immune system product, transfer factor, the best immune support product in the world. And that's not me saying it. That's the Russian Academy of Medical Science saying it. That is countless clinical studies, millions of dollars of research. And the amazing thing is we're right next to these people that are like, hey, we boost the immune system. I love that. That's Coke and Pepsi right next to each other. And we get to be able to take that and turn it in to where the challenge of today with this pandemic spells out a lot of opportunity. So we are the immune system company. There's always going to be a superbug. I think we all can agree on that now, right? Whether it's H1N1, whether it was Ebola, whether, you know, SARS. I don't know if you saw recently, but I just read a news article yesterday that said that they think that they've discovered now a mutated swine flu that could be pandemic worthy. That's the unfortunate world that we live in with the way that travel is now, right? Because now I can be in China to America in a day, and there's all sorts of different, you know, opportunities for pathogens to pass. So the good news is this, that's a struggle, but the good news is this, For Life is positioned better now than we ever have been before. And we've got 20 years of security, 20 years of security. We just had a huge 2019. We're having a big 2020. We're in a stage of momentum and growth. And yet the world is starting to have an awakening when it comes to the immune system. So I do want to talk a little bit about how I present the products. Okay. When I first got started with For Life, I really tried to learn as much about transfer factor as I could. And I would suggest that that's a good approach. But I would also suggest that a confused mind says no. Think about it. If you're confused, what's the default setting of your head? I don't know. I'm unsure, right? Repulsion or no or rejection. So we've got to keep it simple too. So I like to go with an approach that Ray Higdon teaches with rank makers. I like this because he says WII versus WID. And WII is what it is. WID is what it does. I love that aspect of it because here's the thing is, I traveled with a For Life research and development doctor. He was one of the founding original doctors on our medical advisory board. I traveled all over Indonesia with this doctor. Great man, the maverick of medicine, Dr. Dwayne Townsend. Him and I, we spent hours and hours and hours together traveling Indonesia. And he would say things in presentations that I was like, I don't even know if I can pronounce that word, but I sure as hell don't know what he's talking about. Like, I mean, I had no idea. He would talk about, well, you know, transfer factor is similar to the family of proteins. It's a polypeptide. It's about 44 amino acids branched together. And he would talk about all of this scientific aspect. And I was always impressed because he's forgotten more about transfer factor than I'll ever know. But I also, sometimes I would look over at the audience in Indonesia, and I could tell that they were equally as lost as I was, right? So my point being is, Dr. Townsend and I, we started developing a plan. I'm like, let's use your credentials, let's use your expertise. And I go, listen, Maverick of Medicine, the next stop in Jakarta, let's just focus on the fact that you are a doctor that's been practicing in medicine for 40 years, that you're a cancer oncologist, you're an OBGYN, and that you recommend these products. And you know what? We started to have more success because now the audience didn't feel like they had to be in a lab or a library to duplicate the message. See, duplication is the key. And if you've got to be prepared, you've got to know about the product. But if you're having a difficult time being able to embrace and duplicate, what do you think your prospect is going to have? They're going to have a difficult time as well, right? So here's what I do. Rather than I can go through any of these products, whether it's Inner Sun, or it's the transfer factor chewable, or the prebiotics, or the energy sticks, and I can tell you what it is. I can tell you, hey, this has Korean ginseng, this has guarana, this has B vitamins. I can go through what's in it. And there are going to be personalities that they're analytical, right? They want to know everything that's in it. And great, I'm going to cover that if that's important to them. But there's a lot of people that they don't care what Korean ginseng is. They just want to know what it does and why is it important for them. So here's what I do. Rather than focusing on what's in this or what it is, I try to turn the tables on what it does. I tell them, hey, this is so convenient. It comes in this little packet. I literally have it sitting in my truck console. I have it half the time. I have like a surprise. I find it in my jacket pockets. I don't know where these things are. They're everywhere. I just got them kind of like, it's like a treasure hunt. Find the energy stick. But the great thing is I have one. I get a bottled water. I'm at the kitchen if I want to, fill up a glass of water, and it's so convenient, and it doesn't have the high sugar, the high calorie, and there's no crash. This gives me energy, and I need energy. I got 6 kids, a busy schedule. I'm 44 years old. I need energy. And guess what? People can relate to that. Everybody can relate to having something that's convenient, that's healthy. And then I throw in the fact, and it also has the best immune support supplement in the world in every single packet. So I'm not only getting the energy where there's no crash, I'm getting immune support. So you see, it's what it does. And now if they were like, well, what's in it, Kevin? Then I'm going to go back to what it is. And I'm going to follow up with that, right? But it's really important to focus on the benefits and not just the ingredients, not just the science. The science is what sets us apart, but we still have to keep it simple enough to where we're relatable, okay? Another thing I want to tell you that's really important in this business from what I've learned, and this is incredibly important in social media too. If you're posting in social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your platform is, may I make a suggestion? Find the platform that works for you and just kill that platform. Just absolutely do awesome on that platform. So many times I got people that come to me like, I'm pretty good on Instagram, Kevin, but I don't have any clue on what to do on Twitter. Or I had somebody the other day, Kevin, I'm trying to figure out TikTok, right? I'm like, and that's fine, but find the platform of the audience that you want to tap into and just really become a professional at that platform. There's hundreds of millions of people that are daily and weekly and monthly users for YouTube, for Instagram, for Facebook, for TikTok, for Snapchat, for Twitter. So find what it is that's working for you, because a lot of times I see people that are like, well, I want to be a jack of all trades. But what's the second part of jack of all trades? A master of none. Well, I don't want to be, I want to be a master of a trade. And if that means I've got to learn Instagram really well and really tune into that algorithm, that's what I should do. So let me talk a little bit about algorithms, okay? First of all, the more you have people engage, the more engagement will come. It's kind of like success begats success. The more you're seen, the more you're going to be seen. So I want you to think of like that with your algorithm. Why are people connected to you? Like, why do you have people that have you on Facebook or are following you on Instagram? And I want you to think about that in a way that, you know, Dave Daughtry always trains on the 80-20 rule, right? He talks about how 20% of the people do 80% of the production, right? And so you need to spend 80% of your time with those 20%, those leaders, and 80% of your time prospecting and building and doing what we call income producing activities, right? Those are the most important things you can do day to day, are those IPAs that are actually building your business. But the key is this, 80-20 with your algorithm too. Because I tell you, I'm connected with people and I want to reach out to them and say, hey, I love your ambition. I love your goals, but you got to stop being a spammy Sammy. You got to stop being a spammy Tammy. What they do is it's just like everything that they post is, hey, join my company. I love For Life. Buy, transfer factor. Recruit, and become a member of my For Life team. And you know what it comes off like? I call it commission breath. It's just like the whole time it's buy, join, sell. And here's the thing is, a lot of people are getting that from 50 other companies and 50 other representatives of those companies. And you know the thing about technology, it connects us easier than ever before, but guess what else it does? It's easier to disconnect than ever before, right? You know how many people on Facebook, I don't have to unfriend them. I don't have to block them, but you know, I just unfollow them because everything that they post it feels like a used car salesman info commercial, right? So here's my point is, why are people connected to you? They're connected to you because of you. So I always try to break it down into what I call on social media, the 4 Ps, okay? So here's the alliteration with the Ps. First of all, preparation. You know, when I sit down and I'm thinking about my social media plan for the upcoming week, I'm thinking about be purposeful, be intentional. Okay, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to post? When am I going to post? Because, you know, that's also important on your social media. You know, if you're posting at 10 o'clock in the morning, you might not get people, because even during the pandemic, a lot of people are working at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? Are you posting at lunchtime where maybe they're taking a break and you want to get them to slow their scroll on their mobile device, sitting outside of their company on a lunch break? Or maybe you're posting at 6:30 p.m. so they just got home from work, they've had some dinner, and now they're scrolling through social media. But have some preparation on what you want to post for the week. The second one, and I think the most important one, is personalization. Make it personal. So I'm going to give you an example. I'll use Judy for an example. Okay, let's say that I've got this prebiotics and I set it on a countertop and I snap a picture. You know, let's talk about good, better, best. If I just take a photo from the company, that's good. But if I just share it from For Life's Facebook page, yeah, that's kind of regurgitation. I want to be the originator of For Life content. I'm duplicating them as an independent distributor. So if I just share from them, that's good, but better is if I do something myself, right? There's so many apps right now, whether it's Canva, whether it's WordSwag, whether it's Lumiere. Take a picture of a product that you have, and we all have phones now that do fantastic pictures, right? It's crazy how far phones have come. They become They basically killed the small camera market, right? Our small cameras now are our phones. So take a picture, that's better. You know, if I've got something that's personalized to me. But here's what's best. If I'm Judy and I've got, first of all, look, I mean, she's got great skin, great smile. If I'm Judy, I'm taking a picture with the product. I know we're all like, Kevin, are you suggesting I take a selfie? How old are you? Yes, I'm suggesting you take a selfie. You should be partnering yourself with the product. So if I've got my favorite product, if it's Aqua, I'm taking a picture with the product. If it's this, I'm taking a picture with the product. That's best, because now what's happened is I've got people that follow me, that their bridge is now from me to the company. I've taken down their barriers. I've made them feel the personal connection, and I just haven't regurgitated something from the company. I've made it my own, and they see that too. You know, people can catch on to lazy. Like all Kevin does is just shares it from this page. I guess I should go follow that page. That page is where the original content is. That's the page where it looks like there's actually some information coming. All he does is just share it. No, I want to share. I want to take what they have, make it mine, add my brand with their brand, and then share it. Okay, so personalization, production. Production is an important part in this business, because, you know, the days of really bad videos and really bad pictures and grainy images with low resolution, those days are over. We're all a home-based business. This thing here cost me $15. And you know what? It's worth its weight in gold. Not because it's making me look any special tonight with my shiny forehead, but it's fantastic when it comes to taking pictures, right? I can make that prebiotics look fantastic with the picture. So think about the production of it. And you know, I was talking with a distributor one time, and I was suggesting to her, I said, hey, do Instagram stories or do Facebook Live. Because you know that it's been shown in marketing and sales that if you go live on Facebook or you do an Instagram story, it's 500% more likely to have interaction and engagement. So if text is good, media, images are better, and Facebook or Instagram stories, if you go live, that's best. That's the king of marketing on social media. Go live. Sometimes it's nerve-wracking, right? Ooh, are people going to judge me? You know, are people going to think that I'm going? But when you go live, don't just go live every time and start promoting the products. Go live and share. I've seen something that Jay Michael and Judy have been doing, and I'm going to use them because they're very good examples of social media. They do things where it's like cooking, right? Sharing recipes, adding value. Okay, it's not, and that's the kind of stuff that sets up the algorithm. Okay, it sets up the algorithm because now Judy's offering value, whether it's a recipe, whether it's something with cooking, and then what am I been programmed to do? Pay attention. So now when she comes and she brings a curiosity post about For Life, I'm programmed to pay attention, okay? So make sure that your production value is good. I told somebody one time, hey, do a Facebook Live. She did a Facebook Live. She's like, I'm gonna do it, Kevin. I was excited for her. She did a Facebook Live. The entire time, there was a baby screaming in the background. Now, I understand real life happens. I get it. And we wanna be relatable, right? But the entire time. I only stayed on the Facebook Live for the entire time because I was just hoping that eventually she would go get the baby. You know what I'm saying? So we can't always understand what our circumstances are going to be, and we've got to be authentic. At the very best advice I can give you on social media is be you, be authentic, be relatable. You know, we can't all be flawless and perfect all of the time, but just think about in your preparation and your production, Murphy's Law, right? Like, have I silenced my phone? Have I gone on do not disturb? Is my wife going to walk around the back here in a towel getting out of the shower? Think about the things that could possibly happen, because often they will happen, right? So think about that in your production. And then presentation. You know, when it comes to presentation, I have what I call the VAC approach, because we want to basically attract people like a vacuum, right? And that VAC approach is this: V is for value. And that's the cooking recipes. Whatever it is you're doing, right? I know someone who does really, really well with a direct sales company that is about cookingware, okay? It's cookingware, but you know what she does every once in a while? A makeup tutorial. Why would she do a makeup tutorial when she's trying to sell me pots and pans? Value. She's just trying to add value to her followers. You know, Barry, I don't know if you're still doing it, Barry, but Barry was doing some awesome things when it came to cooking and, you know, and sharing some aspects of that. And that's the thing is, whatever it is, isn't that great that we're in a business where you can take your hobbies, you can take your interest, and you can take those things and actually, you know, present them to followers, add value to others, and in turn, they're tuning in. And that's the thing is, if you're 80% with value, the next one is attraction. What can you do to attract people? And let me bring this up really quick. I can tell you what you can do to repulse people. Okay, I do not share things, and this is everybody's own opinion. I'm not sharing a bunch of things about politics. I'm not sharing a bunch of things about religion. I'm not sharing about, and I have strong beliefs on all of those things. But guess what? Everybody else has strong beliefs on those things too. And no matter what I do, if that's what I'm sharing, guess what I'm doing? I'm alienating, especially in today's world. It's sad, right? We can't just agree to disagree on some things. We can't just have mutual respect and yet differing vantage points. So I stay away from those things. I'm thinking about what unites, what attracts, what brings people to me. Okay. And anything that I can think that's about unification and attraction, I'll post it. And I will tell you one thing: funny equals money, especially in today's world. If you can get somebody to joke, I mean, I'll share something like a dad joke, and they're some bad dad jokes. And trust me, I'm the king of dad jokes, because with 6 kids, I got to say something that makes them laugh. And there's some really punny dad jokes. But guess what? I'll get engagement, because people, they just want an escape. The reason people are on social media is for entertainment, right? How many times have you been on social media because you're bored, right? I sound like my 14-year-old teenage son right now, right? I'm bored. I'm on social media. I'm looking for an escape. I'm looking for entertainment. So sometimes funny will equal money. But here's one thing is, you want people to like, but you really want them to love, or do wow, or do care, or do angry, or do sad. Those reactions on Facebook in particular get you more traction. Did you know that? So when you're out and you see other people in the For Life family sharing something and you want to help their algorithm, here's a suggestion: don't just like it, love it. Takes 2 seconds more and you're helping them help themselves, because Facebook gives priority to those emotions, those emojis that are above like. Here's another algorithm tip: ask people questions, because you want them to comment. Because the more comments that you have on a post, the more Facebook algorithm says, hey, I want to show everybody else in this person's circle of influence this particular post. Because Facebook, guess what Facebook wants you to do? They want you to stay on their platform. Guess what Instagram wants you to do? They want you to stay on their platform. They don't want you to go to YouTube. That's why never, ever post a YouTube video on Facebook. Because guess what Facebook's going to do to that? Bury it. Because Facebook says, I don't want you. Google and Facebook are competing with each other. for your time, your attention, and especially what? Your ad money. You know what? YouTube is showing you an ad for Microsoft. Facebook is showing you an ad for Microsoft. So they want to keep you on their platform. So if I want Facebook to be my main thing, I'm not going to post a YouTube video on there. I'm going to go, there's a lot of different options. I use one called y2mate.com. I'm going to go put the YouTube link in there, download the video from YouTube, and upload it on Facebook. Okay. That's the key, is I want to keep Facebook people on Facebook. Ask a question though. Okay. Because if you ask a question, people respond. So sometimes it can be just as simple as a this or that. Like that's a great algorithm booster. Hey, would you rather go to Maui or Madrid? You want to go to Spain or you want to go to Hawaii? This or that. Drop it in the comments and let me know which one you want to go. And people, you think people want to tell you whether they want to go to Spain or Hawaii? They will. And guess what? Does that do anything? Does that show up in my For Life commission check? Nope. But does it indirectly get people to where now I'm working the algorithm? Yes. Because now all those people that commented whether they want to go to Maui or Madrid, guess what's going to happen? The next time I post, and I post about the fact that, hey, I love this product because I have an autoimmune disease where I have a wrecked gut. And my stomach sometimes, it's got some bad mojo. But I take this product, tastes great, let it dissolve underneath my tongue, and guess what? Gut problems be gone. When I post that, guess what? That Maui Madrid post shows up. Because now it's not necessarily the preface, it's the next thing. The next thing is what gets it. So help other distributors in the For Life family. If you see them post something, just go and drop an emoji, say, hey, looks good, make a little comment, because you're helping out their algorithm, okay? That's an important part of it. One thing that when I talk about that, the last thing is curiosity. You know, we've heard the expression that curiosity killed the cat, right? Curiosity also captures the prospect. If you can get people curious, that is half the battle in this business. And so, you know, whatever that is, you know, I'll post something about the Ria Vita Chews. I'm not saying, hey, buy Ria Vita Chews. Here's my For Life link. I'll drop it in the comments. Go over and buy it immediately. Instead, I'm making it personal. I'm talking about that I have my 6 kids. They are not good at taking supplements. But I have to literally, and when I say this, I'm not kidding, I have to lock up the Ria Vita Chews. They're in a spot in my pantry up where they can't get it, because they will eat those Ria Vita Chews like they're Starburst, because they taste great. And they have a lot of value, right? All the antioxidants, the acai, the pomegranate, the elderberry, of course, transfer factor. So I'm going to post something, you know, curiosity-wise, and I'm going to bring it to the benefits. But here's one key that I see a lot of people do with social media. If I've got somebody that says, hey, I've got kids that are really picky that could really use a boost in their immune support as well. Kevin, what is that? Where can I buy it? You know, can you tell me more? I'm not going to take that comment and publicly respond to it. And I'm very proud of who we are and what we represent. But I always say it like this: the magic is in the messenger. Because one, if I respond to that comment of more information, I always just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to direct message you. Because then guess what happens? Every post you do, have you ever met that person that they've never liked a single post you've done? They've never double tapped on Instagram, but they know everything you do on social media. I got a neighbor like that. Every time I see him, hey, Kevin, saw that you guys were doing this or saw that. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you're watching. You might not be engaging, but you're watching. And so that's the thing is we got a voyeuristic society. There's lots of looky-loos, right? And it started, I think probably about 15 or 20 years ago when all of a sudden there was reality TV, right? We just started having cameras follow around people. Now my kid, it's such a voyeuristic society. I kid you not. I got a 7-year-old son that his idea of a good time is pull up YouTube and watch some other kid open up presents. I'm like, what? This is weird. You want to pull up some other kid who's opening up presents and giving his review of toys. Whatever. But that's the kind of society people are always watching, right? So if I post something on Facebook that has someone interested, and I go in and I say, oh, well, this is how much the Ria Vita chews are, and this is what it is. It's got elderberry, and it's got pomegranate, it's got acai berry, the super fruit of all antioxidants, it's got transfer factor. Well, guess what? I might not be getting to what the looky-loo is curious about, because I can't have a custom catered response to everybody who's watching. I don't even know who's all watching. That's an impossible target to hit, right? So what I do is I just say, hey, I'll message you directly. That's where the magic is, in the messenger. And then guess what happens for that voyeur, that looky-loo? They've got to do something. They have to act. If they want to know what it is, where to get it, what the price is, what the ingredients are, guess what they have to do? Hey, Kevin, more info. I'll send it to you in the messenger. I'll directly message you. Once I get to the direct message too, guess what else happens? I'm far more effective, right? Because now I can customize the message according to the individual, and I can ask find out questions. So as they're asking questions, we can have that dialogue. And so it's just like anything else. I'm going to have a lot better conversion rate if I'm intimately following up with what matters to them, not what matters to me. I'm asking questions, I'm listening, and I'm going where they lead me, right? So a couple more things on social media. Make sure every post that you do is public, okay? Because you just don't know. Have you ever shared something and then somebody else shares it, and then they share it? Next thing you know, you've got it shared 5 or 6 times. You want it shareable because you don't know if it's a contact of a contact of a contact that might end up leading back to your funnel. So don't just share it with your friends. Make it public so they can share it with their friends as well. Another thing is make sure that your username, Facebook has a username, Instagram has a username. Every one of them has a username. If you have a page or a group, I would suggest go and customize your username, because even that's going to help you be noticed. Because in your domain or your URL, have you ever noticed somebody will say, hey, go join my group? And it's facebook.com. And then you'll see, /654321441. That's not good for Facebook algorithm. That's not good for computers. That's not good for people. I can go in and change that in the group settings, go to Facebook and actually put my own custom URL. So now when I'm sending it to facebook.com/group/4LifeTransform. You see, that's better for Facebook and for the person. So make sure that you have your usernames. Go and think about, begin with the end in mind. That's one of the 7 principles of highly effective people that Stephen R. Covey talked about, right? Begin with the end in mind, even with your usernames. Your profile picture. Let's go through here. Johansel Gonzalez. That's a perfect example of a perfect profile picture. I want to hang with that guy. He looks professional, right? That's somebody who looks like he knows what to do with business. Claudia is a great example. Raul, great example. Jose, I mean, you're all superstars here. But that's the great thing is you've got a attraction marketing, right? If I've just got a picture where, that's not appealing, that doesn't, you've got literally microseconds to get somebody to slow their scroll. And if I've got just a tinge of interest, if I'm intrigued, if I've just let up on that thumb for a second to see your content, and I look at your profile picture, I'm like, man, Joe Hansel looks like he is dressed to impress, tuxedo. That guy looks like a successful guy. See, there's so many vibes and so much energy that we're giving off. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, your profile picture is worth 10,000. Okay, because you want it to project healthy, wealthy, and wise, right? You want to bring people in with your profile picture. Another thing is your bio. In your bio, Jeff Altgilber's is great at this. Not good at this. He's great at this. Go to Jeff Altgilber's bio. It doesn't, you read it, it's entrepreneur, it's business builder, it's international, traveler. It's a lot of things that say who he is without giving up what he does. Curiosity, right? Adding value, intrigue, and still curiosity. And then make sure when you're doing your Instagram, and you've got to have a call to action and an exit link. Okay, make sure you have a CTA in everything you do. That CTA could be a call to action. Hey, drop a comment. I'm working the algorithm. That CTA might be like, hey, join me on a Zoom next week. Here's Dave Daughtry's calendar. I'm going to be there. Will you be? But make sure you have a CTA, because everything you're doing, you want to have something where you've got an action and you're hoping to get a reaction from them. If it's Instagram, I know a lot of people are like, well, Kevin, I only have one link on there. I want to put my For Life link on there. Well, here's the great thing is go and there's a website service called Linktree. Okay, go to Linktree, pull it up. It's a free service. I think they have a premium, but go and get it. The free service. You can put on there, hey, here's my Facebook profile from Instagram. Here's my Twitter feed from Instagram. Here's my For Life store from Instagram. If you want to follow my blog, here's my blog from Instagram. So that's a great thing that you can do with your exit link. Hashtags. I get people to ask me about hashtags a lot. Hashtags on Facebook, it doesn't really matter. Facebook doesn't really use them. You can put one or two in your post and it's not going to hurt you. But if you put a bunch of hashtags in Facebook, it can definitely harm you. It's just not the interface for it. In Instagram, a good hashtag can really help you. But here's one of the keys. Don't throw like 20 hashtags in your post, because guess what? It murkies the water. There's no clarity. People can't see past the hashtags to see your message. So here's the thing is, if you want to put your hashtags in your actual post, drop some emojis, maybe put some bullet points and put it underneath. Have you ever seen that where it says see more? You want your hashtags to be on that click part where they actually have to push it and see the secondary part of your post. But I don't even do that. What I think is the most important thing you can do on Instagram or Twitter even. Twitter, throw your hashtags in your actual post. On Instagram, I do it as the first comment. Okay, your first comment. And you know what? You want to research when I talk about the 4 Ps, right? Preparation, personalization, production, and presentation. When I'm doing my preparation stage for hashtags, I want to go and I want to research the hashtags that people can find me. Here's the unfortunate thing though. We get too caught up in thinking you got to compress and concentrate your hashtags. So here's what I see a lot of people do. I'm going to do some hashtags, Kevin. I'm going to put it in my first comment of my post, and I'm going to put health and wealth and opportunity, because those things, there's millions and millions and millions of people that follow those hashtags, right? And because of that, guess how quickly you're going to just drop down that feed. Just customize it just a bit more. If you want to put health or wealth, that's fine, but don't just have just those top tier hashtags. I suggest the golden number with Instagram is 12 good hashtags in your first comment, okay? And those 12 hashtags I suggest breaking it up into quarters. 4, 4, 4. Okay. The first 4, I might go for the big hashtags. I might go for health. I might go for supplements, things like that, right? The second 4, I'm going to make them a bit more for life specific. Okay. So maybe I'm going for transfer factor and for life. The last 4, my brand within the company, because you're all companies within the company. You're all independent distributors. Those are your personal hashtags. So those are hashtags where people can find you. That's your breadcrumbs, your blueprint. Okay, so don't get it thrown in to where it murkies up your message. Make sure you put it as your first comment. I'll just finish by saying this, okay? I think everybody knows, I think, that social media is, I mean, before the pandemic, it was such a huge part of where the future of this industry is going, right? I mean, just think about it. Dave Daughtry's been to over 100 countries in the last 20 years with For Life. How many of those countries, you know, it was eye-opening for me the first time I went to Southeast Asia. You know, because I'm over there in Malaysia. I don't know as an American, I'm just ignorant to other countries at the time, right? Now I've been to a lot of different countries and I have so much respect for what the world has to offer. It was my first time leaving America. There goes the fan. It was the first time leaving America and I was like, whoa, you know, you go to Southeast Asia, they don't have one phone. They have like 3 phones, right? They have the phone that they do their text message on. They have one just for their social media. Social media is everywhere. It's still a relationship business. It's still together building people, but this is where we build people now, right? We built, you know, so I'll finish with this and I'm gonna turn the time over to Claudia because I think she has some thoughts when it comes to social media because she's been utilizing it a lot. She's got a lot of good information, but I'll finish with this. If you're gonna go high tech, make sure you don't leave out high touch. You can't become so automated. I've got some things. I use a system called manychat.com. And it's basically a bot or a software. So if somebody goes and messages my Facebook page, it will go through like a auto response. It's only 10 bucks a month. It's a nice little software, manychat.com. But guess what? I don't want to get so caught up in the automated robotic technology of today that I lose the touch, right? Ultimately, this is still a belly-to-belly business. It's still about people. You can't have together building people without the people, right? So if you're going to go high tech, make sure you stay high touch. You know, call people, message people, stay in touch with people. I love Zoom for that. This feels like we're having a meeting. This is as close to having a meeting as we can have right now, right? But I'm telling you right now, as much as I love Zoom, I pray every day that Vegas still happens and For Life Convention still happens because there's no substitute for actually being together, right? That's the best thing about this business. And I can't wait for those times. So hopefully something I said helped you with your social media, your philosophy. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you tonight. Dave called me a couple hours ago and said, hey, Kev, you know, I think he's been doing so many Zoom meetings. He probably just had to crash and he had a long night too. So I appreciate the time to spend with you and I'll turn it over to Claudia. I think she's got some final thoughts to wrap us up and maybe some questions. So.
Wow. This is why we have to grow the English meetings because whoever does them, we just learn so much. And I actually told Shanna, who is our new leader from Belize. So hello, Shanna and her 2 guests. I want to welcome you here. I said, I wrote her and I said, you have to listen to this guy. This is one of my mentors. Shanna, tell me if I was not right. I said, he is the greatest motivational speaker. I can assure you, bring whoever you want. They're going to be blown away. So Shanna's giving me a thumbs up that I was right because I really am, Kevin. You are such an inspiration. Always have the greatest stories. And the trainings become so delicious to listen to, because it's just like you just learn, and you just take us all the way on a journey as he mentors everyone. So actually, I didn't really want to talk about social media. I think you did such an amazing job. I just wanted to close with a few details. And one of them, because people have been asking me on the chat, where do I get this info? Where do I get the video? Where do I get the other video from before? So here's how it works. We do not post every single training on Dave's website for different reasons. Number one, sometimes he gets excited and he says things that he shouldn't. And so that's why I don't even post them on Facebook Live. I did this one on live because I know Kevin, he's going to say everything, policies and procedures properly. So this one is on Facebook Live. So some of you can follow me on Facebook and then just grab it and share it. Dave's, they're not on Facebook Lives. I shouldn't do that until I analyze them. And then even when we finish the meetings, there's things that shouldn't be out there. So we can't put them on the website because it just hurts the business or hurt. And he talks sometimes about other distributors. And so if you're in the meeting, it's fine. We're a family. He's telling stories. He's telling who did that, what, when, and how. And so if you're there, congratulations to you. You got a great meeting. Some of them, we can't repeat them. So we just don't post everything. So don't miss any of the meetings. Now, some of the trainings, so if they're trainings, and I think, Anjay, you wanted this one. I am going to post this one on Dave's site for sure, but what I need is time, because right now I've got a bigger fish to fry trying to fix the website for you guys and trying to fix the codes. I think you guys agree on that. So if it takes a few days or a few weeks, I promise that this one's going to go there as fast as I can. I have to balance my life. So it was an amazing training. You will have it. Be patient. The other thing is I do have some of the trainings on YouTube that I have been doing on Saturdays. So for those of you that don't know, I've been doing Instagram and Facebook trainings. I'm not very good on Facebook or Instagram, but for some reason they started growing, and we make it unified training where everybody just talks a little bit about, what they learned. But I do have to say that Kuwinder Samra did an amazing job last Saturday in English, training on how to have a page or a group and what is the difference and how you should do it. And she was posting how you should do an event, and we should all do events. So don't miss those trainings. That one's also going to go on Dave's site. I'm going to post, even though it's Kuwinder, because it's still under Dave's umbrella of meetings, because I told Dave you shouldn't be doing social media, because first, he doesn't really use it that much, and second, he teaches better things. Like Kevin is the guru of social media, and now Kuwinder has a lot to teach. So how do they work? Every Saturday I do a Spanish, and then the following Saturday I do in English. So this Saturday I'm going to do Spanish, and they'll be on Dave's site. If you don't see it throughout the week, just check Friday night. Sometimes I post them really late. That's why I said always go to the website, and the link will be there. So every Saturday we're holding, it's going to be either me, it's going to be Kuwinder, not Kevin or Dave, because we do them early, so it's going to be too early for them. And that's just to, again, make sure that we are training our people. And so if you want to be there, maybe even Jay Michael's not too early. He may help me with one. And whoever wants to join me, Johansson, where's Johansson today? He didn't join. I thought he had joined. Lisa, I could ask Lisa to help me. Lisa is really good on social media. Yeah, there you are. Johansson could probably help me, because I've seen him super active, super knowledgeable. He looks like he's been following Dave for a while. So I think Johansson, you and I should talk, because I'm looking for people that can help me train and mentor. And I also want to welcome a lot of the Asia team that has been joining these meetings. We're planning to grow the English meetings. So not just because of your last name, but you have introduced yourself. Dam, congratulations. Sam Leong, I think that you are from Indonesia, if I'm correct. And I also see Fariz, but I'm not sure, Fariz, where you're from. But Goldie has been joining us for a while. So hi, Dam, how are you? Thank you, because now I know that you're a regular at these meetings. So we do want to grow the Asia presence in these meetings. I promise you that as we grow, we're going to have a lot of content, speakers, and I'm just getting Dave to even invite once a month, one of the platinums. And so we're just going to make it, we're doing it with the Spanish ones, and they have, we get over 100 people now in the Spanish ones. he gets 500 in the Filipino calls, right? So we want to grow this meeting, which is our English training. So Malaysia, yes, woo, 3 from Malaysia, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, from Malaysia. So yeah, so thank you guys. Again, I think everybody knows, go to Dave's website for the info. And I need you to tell me what you need to see. I need you to write what are the topics that you're looking for that Dave or Kevin where did well, and any of us could cover, right? So international goals, just anybody that we can put as a speaker. I'm a diamond, but I consider myself platinum, so that's why I train. Cowinder again is doing great in social media. So thank you, everybody. Let me see. Any Asian leaders are very active. Yes, business has no borders. I like that, Johan. So that's so true. So that was all. Yes, it was a fantastic training. I'm just going through the chat, and thank you all. So Dr. AJ, he's the farthest to one side. Lisa, Dan, Satya in India. So thank you very much for joining us, and to the new people, Mark and Fariz, I don't think I had seen you. Goldie, I've seen you. And to my new guests from Belize, I hope you enjoyed this meeting. So thank you very much. We love you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.